Yeah. So Eeland Stribling got new comic, not new, but I mean new to the podcast, I guess. New
Yeah,
to
you can call me new
LHRB.
comic. I'm okay with being called new comic.
I mean, when I started seeing you around, I was like, oh yeah, this guy's cool, and then you were like, blew up, and I was like, well, blew up in the sense that you won the Comedy Works competition, And I mean, I heard you on some other pods where you're like, oh, I opened for this guy, I'm working with this guy. You're doing stuff.
Yeah, I feel very lucky.
I pulled up your website on the last one to show I had a tech person on the last podcast, and she was trying to talk about back end versus front end of tech.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I was just looking at this guy's website. Like, what's the difference between like tip back end versus?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're very professional. You got the fucking website going.
I'm trying to be. Someone was trying to book me for a gig, and they were like, we wanted to book you, but you didn't have a website. And I was like, oh shoot. So I immediately like worked with a couple people to like.
Yeah, because it's very professional. It looks very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
I mean, and that's because you were talking on that last pod you were doing the backpacking one about Sam Talent giving you some advice on what to do with comment, the next steps kind of stuff. And when I started, I remember him being like, don't fucking worry about your website.
Yeah.
Just go out and tell jokes.
Yeah.
And like, that's so funny. You're like, nope, I got it. But I mean, it was when people were like, you need to have a website.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when I specifically have like asked him for advice, it's like specific stuff. He just doesn't. He's always been like, write jokes, just write and do stand up, just be funny. But then I was asking him like, how do I go to like the next level? Like what's the next level?
He's like, write a book
thing. Yeah, he's like, write a book and sell out.
Be a good writer.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been great advice. I fucking love comedy. So sweet.
So what I was getting is that I've taken pride in like anybody who's anybody here in the Denver scene has come through LHRB. All right. Because I'm the longest running comedy podcast in town. All right.
I love it. I love that statue.
I'm glad that we could, get you on, bring you into the fold.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm anybody who's anybody. I would say I'm just the brush of the earth.
Dude, because when I approach you, the brush of the earth, that's funny. Salt of the earst.
Yeah, just
which I'm getting from all the other pods I've been listening to you on. It's like, yeah, you're very like, I love nature.
Yeah,
I want to I
just want to chill. I'm like a hippie without all the annoying parts about being
Have you done hippie, not hippie?
I have not.
Okay, yeah. You're not hippie.
No.
no tie-dye.
Wait, who's hippie's not hippie is Moss and
AJ Finney.
I have done that one with BK. Right. It was right when BK Sherrod left. Right before he left, and
good riddance.
I just spent the whole time shitting on BK. That was the whole podcast.
No. But yeah, it's been refreshing to watch your, comedy on the fly, comics on the fly. That stuff has been really cool. Yeah. So it's like I watched most of them. I think the last one I watched was BK.
Yeah. I
gotta
update those shows.
Well, it's fine. You got the Grolix guys. It's like, what a get. I've been trying to get them all on one thing forever. And I was like, this guy fucking gets a fly fishing?
Bro, I had to fucking beg them. But they also wanted to fly fish together. So they're like, let's do it.
Okay.
And it was so funny because I was like, yeah, we got like 3 hours of filming. And then as soon as we got there, one of them was like, same thing I just did. Like, I have like an hour. I have like 40
shit.
And I was like, but it's okay. They're great guys. And they have such a cool dynamic that when they get together, they just like give each other shit. Like you could tell they're friends, like actual friends, in like a really humble and honoring way. So it was fun to get to hang out with them.
Yeah, you go fly fishing with comedians.
Yep, comedians on the fly.
Yeah, very fun show.
Hopefully this summer we'll get some bigger, not bigger guests, because I think everyone who I've had on so far has been very gracious in letting me put them on the show. But if hopefully I can get like some.
Yeah, Troy Walker. I mean, that's old school comedy, right? I mean, that's some. He's old.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting.
Yeah. Troy Walker.
He's going back.
Salts of the earth again. I'm brush of the earth. He's salts of the earth.
Yeah. Was he like, now that you've won Comedy Works, now I'll fuck with you?
He's like, you need to earn your keep around here. No, Troy's like one of my like mentors. Like I remember the first time I ever went to a Don't Tell comedy thing, like when Don't Tell was coming around. Troy Walker came from LA just to headline it, and he fucking murdered.
Yeah, he does great.
And I was like, oh, I thought I was funny, but I was like, oh, that's a whole nother level, And then I just started like asking questions. He's like a great friend, great mentor, good writer. He's writing on the Kimmel show. So
right, yeah, that's what I heard.
Pretty sick. Yeah,
it's fun. Again, another old guy thing to do. right for late night.
Yes,
No,
right
I'm
for.
just joking. I just think it's
That's
funny
where the money goes, though.
yeah, for real.
That's
Yeah, for real. Yeah. So when, like I was telling you, when we officially met at the Boulder Comedy Show,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "You've been coming up on the podcast." So my friend Patrick Scott and I are doing a lot of pods together.
Yeah.
And something that comes up is I was like, I should be, we started in comedy around the same time and stuff. And he still gets booked more than me now. He's like a dad. He's got 2 kids.
Yeah.
He hardly ever goes out.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you get booked more than me?
Yeah.
But one thing he's always making fun of me is he's like, you're not cool. He's like, you're not cool. Like, he's like, and so when we talk about cool comedians, your name comes up, BK comes up.
Oh, man.
It's just like guys that are cool.
Oh,
and it's just
that.
like, oh, you hate that?
Yeah.
I mean, we also think you're very talented and funny, but like the cool factor is also a big part of the, part of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be known as cool?
Well, I don't look at myself as like cool. I look at other cool.
Fine.
I look at other cool comics like David Bory. Of course, like Sam Talent is maybe not like cool, but just like something about him where you go
that like DIY spirit, punk rock. He's like punk rock.
Yeah, where you're like, I want to hang out with like this because he's just like a cool
fun guy,
he's like
fun, cool guy.
Yeah, I would have never, if you would have been like give you 100 words to describe yourself, not
cool
once would I
never been in that.
Not cold, not chilly, not frosted.
All right, and then another thing I really connected with on another pod you did. Sorry if I'm talking really fast for the listener. We both got some time constraints, so now I feel like we got to hurry up on this pod.
I love it. I like it.
On another pod, you're talking about you love cookies.
I have an addiction to cookies. It's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, so I went to Vinola's Cookies.
Ooh,
been brought up on the pod before, and I thought we could share some sweet treats.
Would they sponsor this?
I doubt it. They don't know the old ass Italian place. They don't give a fuck about it. But,
all right, I'm gonna. Do I just get to pick any one?
Yeah. So I got.
Oh my god!
I got some butter ones because I know you said you love butter ones, but they're butter like sandwich cookies.
Okay.
And then Snickerdoodle got a lemon, and
what's this
2
one?
pecan caramels.
Pecan? Okay.
Yeah, one of them's almond, one of them's lemon.
It's like a little shortbread with a little chocolate.
Yeah, I know
in
you
it.
said you like the shortbread, so I got a couple of those.
Man, your wife must love you.
My wife was when we met, she was a pastry chef.
Really?
Or she was acting as well, but
yeah,
she was working as a.
I mean, this
chef.
is just like a sweet thing to give to someone. Just be like, hey, I heard you like.
Well, we're gonna share. I mean, it's meant to be shared. It's meant to be shared.
Okay, never mind. I take it all fucking back now. I'm gonna start off with the bite of the. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, the camera's right there. If you want to show,
yeah, I think I'm gonna start off with the Snickerdoodle. We'll have like a little.
Oh wow! Okay,
test.
You like Snickerdoodles, huh?
I love fucking Snickerdoodle.
Okay, yeah, okay, good.
So
yeah.
I think I'll start off with the
maybe my favorite cookie because it's like buttery. It's got a little bit of a wang to it. You can't put your finger on.
It's
Girl Scouts don't even fuck with it.
They don't, and that's what is.
That's what makes it special.
You want to try the Snickerdoodle or another one? Damn, and I love that this has extra sugar on it. I don't know if you can see this on camera, folks, but this is the quality of a good cookie. And I'll tell you another quality of a good cookie. When you break it, it's almost firm to break where you have to put in a little extra tensile strength. But as soon as you like sort of crack it, it just falls apart. And that's what happened with this cookie.
It's got structure, but it's soft.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful way to put it. Let's try this out. Oh fuck.
I mean, yeah, it slaps.
Oh my god.
This cookie fucks. A Snickerdoodle fucks.
Oh my god.
It's got the cinnamon sugar, it's hard to beat.
Sorry if I'm chewing on. Damn, that's a good fucking cookie.
It's got that eggy taste that like it doesn't quite go away like in a sugar cookie.
Yeah.
You don't get it as much.
This is fucking even without the cinnamon sugar on top, it's like a good base. Do you taste a little bit of lemon? I taste like a little. Is that from the other cookie?
Yeah, it might be from the other cookies. It mixed with some lemon.
That's how good I am. I can detect what cookies are with other cookies.
Pure ass palate you got. Whew. Good ass cookie right there.
I'm kind of sweating now. I feel kind of turned on. I feel like this is like a.
Well, sensual. We work all 5 senses. Here. Whatever turns you on, man.
This is like the casting couch, but for cookies. This is my version of the casting couch. Where you just say, hey, we're going to put a camera on you. We're going to feed you a couple cookies.
And you're like, does that cookie fuck or not? And then
just act real natural.
That cookie fucks.
Play yourself.
And so do I. And then the song comes on.
Yep. That was a good cookie.
Very good cookie. There's also a
appreciate that.
pecan caramel in there that I've been really into pecan right now.
Why is that?
It's just, I don't know. I never gave it enough respect as a kid as a nut. You know, I was always about the peanut as a nut.
Oh, walnut?
Not even no walnut seemed like an old person nut.
It does seem like an old person because it's always
an old person nut.
It's always just out.
Yep,
on the table like or something.
Yeah, like your grandpa's weird toes or something. They're just out there. They're just like, hey, I'm here now.
A walnut is an old person, but so you're on the pecan game now.
Yeah, I think it just goes so well with like caramel, anything sweet.
Okay, yes.
It just I don't know if it's like the fat content in the nut or something, but man, it just enhances the flavor.
Yeah, I'm not a big nut guy in general, but if you surround an almond with some chocolate, she'll get digged down. You know,
sure.
I'm like, that's respectable. I can do that.
That's hilarious. Did you ever get into almond Snickers?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No,
I went through a phase.
Really?
I was like, maybe this is better. And then it wasn't.
just to be different, or you actually thought it was better?
I was like, this is a more sophisticated candy for an older me, you know, a preteen me that was wanting to be more mature. I thought maybe that
no,
way to go.
I never even knew what's. I don't even know now what's in a Snickers. I just know that Snickers is its thing.
You know, we can Google it.
Because sometimes when I was a kid, I used to be like really picky, and I was like, "What's in that?" And there was like some stuff I wouldn't eat. But then once I got to college, I was like, "What if I just eat it? And if I like it, I'm not gonna ask like, oh, this has nuts. I'm not gonna eat it. Not like it. I don't know. Okay,
milk chocolate, peanuts, sugar, cocoa. Yeah. So the layers though are like milk chocolate, peanuts, and then caramel.
Okay,
and then a nougat.
Oh, that's what the. Do you think the nougat is the part that's like when you bite it and it like is stringy?
No, that's the caramel.
That's sure. The caramel. Well, what is nougat then? Is nougat just?
I was just about to go.
Questions always lead to other questions. Oh, see, I would have typed in what is a nougat. I didn't know the nougat is a family of confections. That's
sugar and honey, roasted nuts, and it's like whipped.
Oh, so it's nuts.
Yeah, I guess it's just more roasted. Yeah, nuts.
It's just whipped nuts. It's just whipped nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah, they just put all the fucking nuts together and like whip them. It's like, so it's kind of like a nut butter that they whip up.
That's kind of thick.
Yeah.
How we like them. Well, I just fucking learned something today.
There you go.
Do you think you can make? Do you think people use nougat to like cook? I've never heard a recipe that has. Like someone's
I'm sure
like,
my wife has. You know, she went to culinary school, but
she's done a lot. She
went to baking school.
Okay.
Yeah, over in Boulder.
Yeah,
baking culinary. I think they're the same thing, but I'm not sure.
Let's just call it what it is. Yeah, we'll just say it's the same thing.
Yeah. So, you know, she was baking all kinds of shit. She was she was the pastry chef over at Root Down. So it's like a part of a bigger umbrella of a bunch of different, like Lingers, one of the restaurants in the same umbrella. So she would make all the recipes that would go out to all the different restaurants.
Sick. Nice.
So, but they all were like vegan shit. They wanted vegan, vegetarian. So like she was always having to put things together that were like, you know, not as good as their other counterparts because a lot of it was granola based shit.
Right.
Like parfaits were big back then, you know, like in a mason jar, and you could see the layers.
Yeah, and you put the blueberry, the yogurt. Yeah,
you're like, I just want banana pudding.
Yeah, the delicious kind, bro. I had to. So I work with students sometimes. I take students like outdoors, and I get a call on my way to the school, and the other instructor goes like, "Hey, this kid has an allergy." And I'm thinking like it's a normal allergy, like pollen or nuts or whatever. And she's like, "Can you go to the store?" And then she like sends me the list of everything this kid's allergic to. It was like soy product. It was like legumes. Legumes. It was like legumes. It was
no lentils around this kid.
So it was like soy. He had like 10 allergens. Where I was walking through the store and I was like, I'm afraid I'm gonna kill this kid. Like I'm afraid just because it was so much stuff. And then when you read the label of stuff, everything has like sunflower oil. Like this kid couldn't eat sunflower oil or his throat would close up. And I was like, oh, sunflower oil isn't in that much stuff. And then you go through the grocery store and you look and you go, sunflower oil is in goddamn everything. Everything. Which one is this?
It's a caramel pecan.
Caramel pecan. All right.
Yeah. See what you think.
I'm going.
Yeah, kid's a ticking time bomb, man. I'm sorry, kid. You got it cut out for you. Is there a way he could like build up the tolerance? You know?
I don't even know because I'm like, bro, if you're allergic to sunflower oil, it is literally in everything. For real. Like if you're listening to this, go look at your closest food ingredient and it has sunflower in it. Here's the thing. I always forget how much I like cookies with caramel in them until I have one and I go, that's fucking delicious.
Because in my head, liked it. I was gonna say, he's like, if he says it doesn't fuck, I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
In my head, I just go, man, I miss it. It's like I'm trying to describe. It's like like an old girlfriend that comes back and you actually loved her, you know, and you get to just say hi to her again, and she's very sweet, and you don't know if you're ever gonna see her again, but you're like, I really enjoyed that.
Right? Yeah, you were running to her at a cafe.
Yeah,
and you're like, hey, I got a minute. We can sit and chat for a second.
Yeah, and then she's still the sweet person, and it just didn't work out because
life took in different directions.
Yeah, but it's
because you're toxic.
But you do love her a lot, and that is a very good cookie.
The pecan, you get a little pecan in there.
Mm-hmm. I think that might be my favorite so far between that and the snickerdoodle.
Yeah,
I'm a big snickerdoodle fan.
It just takes it over the top.
Sorry for chewing into the mic. It's just so fucking delicious.
I'll either enhance it in post or I'll take it out. I'll do one or the other.
Just ASMR. I'm sorry. All right. Damn, that's a good fucking cookie.
Yeah, very good cookie.
That's a very good cookie.
So, oh yeah, one other thing I liked on the podcast is when you were talking about like cool music on that backpacking podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up the Rat Pack, which was a real left field for me. I thought you're like, you guys were talking about like, you're like, would love to live in a era where music slapped, is what you said. And then you said like the Rat Pack.
I just think that time of live music is just remarkable.
Yeah, I was thinking like, oh, he's gonna say fucking Woodstock.
Yeah,
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah,
but he went back, which I mean, I respect. I fucking love Dean Martin.
Yes,
King of Cool, man. Again, trying to be cool has been like the theme in my life. I've always tried to be cool. Like my buddy, he loved his was Sinatra.
Yeah,
who he was like hot.
Yeah,
and Sinatra and Dean Martin was cool.
Yes,
so I was like, fine, then I'll take Dean. You could be Sinatra.
If I gotta be anybody, I guess I'll be Dean.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I just think that time of like live entertainment, and I still like go back and watch like the live performances that they had, and the thing I think about now is like we call people performers or entertainers, but if you look at back those guys, like in between songs, they would like tell jokes and like tell stories with the crowd. Like they had like this essence of like exactly what you said, like of cool, of like when you saw them live, you were like, this is like the experience. So whenever I think about like, man, if I could go back and like really enjoy music, like I would love to see just Michael Jackson live, just to see like what like just what it looked like. What was that like atmosphere like? And Sammy Davis Jr., amazing dancer, and he would like entertain.
They were doing it all.
Tell stories, sing, and like just. And then they also had this thing of like, were they mafia? Were they not mafia? There's also that like little bit of element of
like mystery, danger.
Yeah,
danger.
Like, you're like, oh, these guys are superstars, but also they may be the mafia. But then also Frank Sinatra was like, hey, we're only going to perform if Sammy Davis Jr. could be in this club. Because a lot of clubs were like, we don't want black people. Like white people aren't allowed. And they were like, you can go fuck yourself. And then they would just hang out and like roast each other and talk shit. And my grandma, rest her soul, really loved Frank Sinatra. So she used to have like the big vinyl records of his.
Okay.
And we would like play them. And that I think that's part of like the like nostalgia of like, man,
just
this
that
is
time.
Like good music. Yeah. And they would roast each other, which I'm always like, if you can't roast each other in your friend group, then what are you doing? That's
Are you a fan of the roast battles here?
Roast battles? I'm not a fan of the roast. I'm just not good at roasting like a stranger. Like I don't
you gotta have some personal
fucking
investment in this person.
Yeah, I'm just not good at looking at someone and being like, you look like this, or so and so does this and they do this. And so I'm like, I'm not good at roasting, but I do admire people who are good at roasting. And I just, with my friends, it's just like I don't know, you get good at trashing each other.
Yeah,
and that's like
love.
Yeah, and that's like it just reminds me of my family, because you can walk to my family's house And I mean, you could have just won $10 million and won the Nobel Peace Prize, and everything in your life was perfect, and they're still just gonna tear you apart. But it's like it's all out of a place of love, of like, just welcome, just hang out. You don't have to like whoever you are, just be here. So I wish I was good at roasting. I have fucking lost every roast battle I've ever been in.
Oh, really?
On stage, I just get fucking torn apart.
You think it's because you're too nice?
I don't think it's because I'm just like an easy target.
In your heart, you're not trying to go after him?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not that. I just can't think of anything on the spot that's like, damn, got his ass. Like,
yeah.
And people just go, he's black, he's skinny. They go, oh, for 15 cents a day, you could feed Eeland. And then the crowd just goes,
damn.
Yeah, see?
I mean, yeah, it's just like easy baseline.
Yeah, and I know all of them, and I'm just like, I still can't come up with any good ones to people. So.
Yeah, it's a different
do you like
game.
roast battles?
No, not at all, man.
Just
I take things very personally.
Do you?
I can't fucking yeah, dude. Yeah, if they fucking said one thing about me that hit me, my chin would just start quivering. I'd just be like, I'd be like, fuck you guys. Dude,
like, no, I'm cool.
I'm like, God, you guys don't think I'm cool? Yeah, the only thing that came up on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, I don't remember who, but I was like, I'd have to do it. My whole gimmick would be like, I'm hurt and I'm doing it from the bathroom. I'm like,
that would be hilarious right? With the microphone in the bathroom.
That's what I'd have to do. But I'd actually be hurt. Yeah, I don't like it. I think you started in comedy pre-pandemic.
Yes, 2019, January 2019.
Yeah, so right before.
Yeah,
and that was before the roast. The roast stuff we got was real hot.
I think there was like every once in a while, Comedy Works was doing like the holiday roast stuff,
yeah,
like bring holiday stuff. But other than that, there wasn't like You Look Like, there wasn't Roast Battle of Denver, there wasn't like the smaller roast show. There was no like established roast.
You never met the Fine Gentlemen's Club would do a end of year roast once a year. That got so fucking brutal sometimes because it was all everybody in the scene, just airing out their dirty laundry, like
just
who
saving it up
who,
for the talking
dude,
shit. Who got
people
the spot.
lost friends on it, dude. I mean, I was like on the outside back then. I mean, you know, not that I'm in the Fine Gents yet or whatever, but you know, but I was like, you know, going to see shows still back then, you know, and they, you know, I wasn't as like in the comedy scene as I am now, but. So I never did that, but I mean, just even seeing it from the outside, you could tell it was just like so they were sharpening knives back then. There was a knife fight up there, dude. They're ready to cut each other up. Yeah,
you didn't get that spot. This joke sucks. You're a hack.
Yeah, Jody Champion isn't even around anymore because she fucking
turned to dust all on the roast stage, just vanished into the sky. That's hilarious.
It's that one got a little brutal. So I think people stayed away from comedy or roasting here in the scene for a while.
Yeah, but now I wouldn't say. I mean, there's
it's a different spirit that I feel like these new kids are coming to it with. Yeah,
there's a bunch of roasters who are traveling to Austin to do the roast shows and going to LA for Netflix as a joke, which is cool. So I love the skill. I just don't have the. There's like, you know, you see sometimes you see people with just like a skill and a talent, and you go like, oh, that's like your thing. You're really good at that. And I go, yeah, I just don't have that in me. Even if I try to like roast the crowd, it always just turns too sweet. Like it doesn't feel like I'm like, your mama's so fat. Like it just, I don't know. I wish I was meaner to strangers.
You wish?
Yeah.
Damn.
I wish I was.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I tried when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to, you know, be that guy too. That I just like would get fucking torn up, and I'd be like, you put yourself in that situation because you were trying.
Just don't be in that situation.
Yeah, just like you didn't want to be mean to that person, or you weren't trying. I mean, but you thought it was cool to do this, and then you fucking got, you know, roasted myself and like couldn't fucking take it. So.
See, I did the same thing, except I would try to make the people laugh in a general sense, so that they wouldn't pick on me individually. I'm like, I would just try to make people laugh and be like, see, we're all laughing. No one should be laughed at.
Yeah, I was always the chubby kid, so I was always trying to deflect to somebody else. Always trying to be like, no, she's got a big nose, though, right, guys? She's great. She's you know, she's a cheerleader or whatever. But look at that fucking honker, y'all.
That would be hilarious if you got on a roast show and they were roasting you, and you just be like, no, but look at this audience member right here, and you just kept deflecting.
Yeah, but look at this person.
To different people in the audience. They're like, aren't you going to roast the other person? No. We're just going to roast these people together.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't.
That's fun.
So anyway,
Old Blue Eyes.
Yeah, Old Blue Eyes.
What a sick ass nickname. See, like you can't. That's like a cool nickname. Old Blue Eyes.
Old Blue Eyes. Oh yeah, you were talking about going hiking, and you know, you're like, autistic for nature or whatever, you know.
Did I say that?
No, but I thought that the other day because you're like, that's the only thing I could like focus on. You're like, and I've taken pictures of fish and I remember it more than like times with my girlfriend
it's
and
insane.
stuff.
It's
so
insane.
It's like, yo, he's autistic for nature.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
That's the worst kind of autistic. I'm sure your girlfriend thinks that.
Like, oh, she hates it. She's like, what's my favorite color? And I'm like, do you remember that one time on that river? It was like 12:30 and we hooked that fish. Yeah, I can like, I've traveled a lot around the world to go fishing, and there's like
That's
spots
crazy.
that I could like go back to without a map and just be like, okay, there was a fish here, this was a fish here, we're gonna fish that. Like,
damn.
Yeah.
Well, all the senses are firing out there when you're in nature, right? You're smelling shit, you're feeling shit. It's cold, it's hot.
Yeah.
You know, you're wet.
Yeah, you're
seeing things.
It is very like involved. It's very involved, which is why I like fly fishing, because it's very like, yeah, you could like sit there and like zone out, but if you zone out, you could miss a fish. Like, you're always just like, you have to like stay kind of in the moment.
Yeah, you're being hyper aware
while you're doing stuff,
but in a flow state almost. Yeah, just like the river.
Just you're flowing. You're just on top of it, floating, just trying to like not tread above water, but just like keep the same tempo, keep the same energy, like focusing, but not like, I don't know. You're like, your mind is involved, but you're also kind of out of I don't really know how to describe it. It's fucking sick.
The only thing I can think of is like you're in the zone. It's like a flow state kind of a thing. It's what it seems like to me. I haven't done it, but I mean, from what I've gleaned from your shows and stuff.
Yeah.
You want to bring that mic down just a little bit on you. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, right.
How's that? Oh.
And we're going to try one more cookie here. I want to try this.
Let's try. Oh, this is my worst. This is my least favorite type of cookie. A lemon cookie. Thank you. No, we do have to. All right. If you were sweet enough to buy them, I'm sweet enough to shut the fuck up and eat it.
All right, here we go. Great British Bake Off right here, son. Very lemony, which I do think is a taste people sleep on. But if you don't like it, it's not your thing. Like, my wife hates banana.
Really?
Yeah, she don't like banana flavor.
Does she cook with it?
Not really.
For other people?
I mean, when she had to, she did, but she's not baking no more.
Yeah, I just don't know why. The lemon just tastes like I'm stuck at church in like elementary school, like when I was a little kid, and I can't. It's over.
Brings you back.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know why lemon just doesn't.
Not a bad cookie, just your least favorite.
Not a bad cookie, and it's like a. It's nothing to get that.
Buttery.
Yeah, it's like a good cookie.
Yeah,
it's flavorful. Like, it has all the components of a good cookie. Just my personal preference with lemon, I just don't. Just doesn't tickle the inside of my body.
Fair enough.
And it lingers. I don't like that lemon lingers.
It does. That's why they use it and everything.
Yeah, it overstays its welcome all the time. Nothing. You don't have lemon, and then it just disappears.
So anyway, you think I'm cool? We're cool.
I do think you're cool. I was just looking at your tattoo on your left hand. What tattoo is that?
This is a ghost. My Boo-Too.
I like
my wife and I both got Boo-Toos.
That's sick.
Diamond Listener.
What's the one that's a triangle? Is that for the Illuminati? Because that'd be sick.
It's from a book. Okay, a novel. You may have heard of it. It's called Harry Potter.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a Deathly Hallows.
Oh,
damn. Got it after we went to Harry Potter World when I turned 30. My wife and I went there with some friends.
Sick.
Very nerdy. Yeah, I get why people think I'm not cool.
No, I feel like that's
my fly fishing, dude. I want to go to Harry Potter worlds in every continent
and be the flow state of Harry Potter world.
I'm there. I'm just fucking Levioing.
No, I think let's talk about what it means to be cool. I think cool is letting go. Don't you think?
There is an element of not trying.
Yeah.
Or seeming effortless. Although, like Elvis, I think Elvis is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think Elvis is cool? For the time, maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty indifferent to Elvis. I think, the music doesn't really. There's like a couple of songs where I go,
sure,
that's a good song, but I don't.
But the vibe.
I've watched the documentaries, I've watched the movies about him, and I just go. He just seemed like a. I don't know. He just seemed like. Sometimes you see comics and you go, I don't know why people think they're funny.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like with Elvis.
Yeah. We just named 3 comics. I had to delete it.
and you know all of them. Yeah, I do think there's an element of being cool of like maybe not letting go, but just
Bruce
like
Lee. You think Bruce Lee's cool?
I do think Bruce Lee's cool, but I feel like people made him uncool because people started quoting Bruce Lee, especially after he died, and like they look at him like, "Oh, Bruce Lee was so amazing," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, he was cool, but the people who say he's cool
Are trying to be zealots for him or something?
yeah. I'm trying to think who else, like Denzel Washington,
Yes, very cool.
where you just like
I
you
just
look like
watched
you
all
would,
3 Equalizers.
so great, and it's the same movie 3 times.
Yeah, one's in Italy.
But then you just look at him, you go, or in interviews, he's like, oh no, I'm happy to be, and he just like has a smile.
very
You just
cool.
go,
Very cool.
he is who he is. Same thing with like Childish Gambino, and I think people used to think Childish Gambino was not
dorky.
cool. Yeah, they're like, oh, look at this Blurred, which is a black
his
nerd.
fashion, dude.
Yeah,
his fashion through the roof.
He's fucking sick. Like,
yes,
sometimes
so
I watch
good.
him and I'm like, I want to dress like that, and I
Hell
look and I go,
dude,
I can't fucking dress like that.
See, and then I try to, and then they're like, why are you wearing a fucking cape
with little sandals with no socks,
dude? When he was Lando, I was in, dude. I'm like, I could wear a cape. Oh, well, he could pull off a cape, but
I mean, just his mustache. I saw just his mustache, and I go, damn, I should just try to grow only a mustache like that. But I was like, I can't do that. So I think there's an element of like, once you get comfortable with whoever you are, people just go, oh, that person's sick as fuck. You know?
Yeah, dude, he's rocking it.
Yeah, even bald with just a mustache. And my girl and I have been watching that show, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, so good, dude. He's wearing his fits drip,
and he like part of his character in the show is like, I want to look good, and he was like, he looks good as fuck. He looks.
Well, that's the thing is like, okay, yeah. So you have to seem effortless, but you have to put in some work. Like what I was getting at with the Elvis thing is like with all the documentaries and stuff, dude, he thought so much about his person.
Yes.
He put so much thought into how he presented himself, which is uncool.
Yes.
But the perception is cool.
That people see you and they go, yeah, that person is cool. But then you don't want people to see you trying hard to be cool.
Because that's inherently uncool.
Yeah, but then that's also that. Then you become cool. I feel like there's so many different levels of cool where you could just keep going like, that's uncool, but it's kind of cool, but it's uncool.
Yeah, I used to think you could like figure out what's cool and put it in a box and recreate it, but then also it's like this intangible thing.
Yeah,
like
we all have people in our life where we just like. I know a guy. I met him I think I met him like 2 or 3 times, but as soon as I met him, I just go, fuck, I want to be that dude. And he dressed like a normal person, but just something about like the way he interacted with people and like how he'd smile and like people would look at him and then like how he just like said what's up to people. I was like, damn, if I was that fucking cool, I wouldn't do stand-up comedy. I look at shit like that where I go, if I was cool, I wouldn't need to try to make people laugh. I would just be cool.
Yeah, people wouldn't be on stage trying to be comics if they were cool.
If they were cool.
Dude, cool. Yeah, cool in comedy doesn't work. That's something I think Donald Glover's trying to bring back is the cool. Like, I think only him and Will Smith have been able to really pull off like, I'm cool and sexy, but also funny.
Yeah. And have you seen Gerard Carmichael's special? Gerard Carmichael.
No, I haven't.
He has 2 HBO specials, and they're very, very well made. One is called 8, like the letter 8. Just one is called 8, and the other one's called Rothaniel. And
I heard someone was talking about that not too long ago.
And I mean, just like they're shot, but it's cool because the opening shot of 8 is the first shot it's not like someone saying, "You've seen them around the world. Put your hands together for Gerard Carmichael," and people coming out cheering. It just starts with him being on stage and be like, "Are we gonna be okay?" And like that's the start of it. And you go, "Oh fuck!" He's not doing the thing that everyone else is doing. He did like his own thing. And now you go, "Fuck, that's so cool." And then it just ends. It doesn't end with being like, "Thank you, that's been my time," and people clapping. It just ends with him asking another question. And then it just cuts off, and you go, I didn't know you can do that. I didn't know that was an option. I thought you had to like do this whole grandiose thing.
Yeah, these are big choices he's making.
Yeah,
and then not do the traditional intro.
Just being himself, which I'm like, and then you watch the later specials and some of the other work he does, and you go, oh, that's consistent with what he does. He just kind of is there. He doesn't need like a big thing about him, which is fucking sick, which is cool.
Yeah, ultimately, you can't be for everybody, you know?
Yeah, that's
you can try,
true.
but
because there's some people who are like, I fucking hate that.
Yeah,
and you go,
you know.
Well, all right.
Yeah, and you got to accept that, I guess. Yeah. And then like ultimately being yourself fully, I think is cool.
Yeah.
But again, you're not for everybody, so you can't win.
Yeah, because then if you're like, oh, I want to be cool to everybody, then you become cool to fucking nobody. There's a couple comics.
You can't win, you can't lose. And that with you're above it.
Yeah,
hopefully.
This has turned into a very motivational.
And whatever it's working for you, whatever you're doing is working for you, buddy.
Love yourself. Yeah. If you can hear this, you're not cool, but we believe it.
Yeah, if you're watching this to get tips on how to be cool.
Yeah, I would. If you had to give someone 3 tips on how to be cool, what would it
be? At least wear clothes that fit you, that fit your body type, because that's gonna raise your fashion and confidence. I think what I wear is very important because I've raised fat kid, grew up fat kid, so clothes are very important to try and hide that, and then when I dress well, I felt better, so that was a big confidence booster. I do something that makes you feel good about yourself. Again, these are like, I don't know, not intangibles, but they're also not like wear a hat. And then, just try not to take things personally, because if you can let things roll off your back, that's the way to win.
Ultimately. That was gonna be my one. It's just don't take it personally. I would say, like, if if you want to hit on somebody, if you like somebody, just go and talk to them. And if they say no, walk away and go, I fucking just talk to that person. They don't even know that I'm the shit. Like, you almost have to over ego yourself to like balance it out. I kind of like that mindset of like, I just did a thing at work, and I walked in there and I was like, these motherfuckers don't even know how great I am. And then during the whole thing, I was like, I hope nobody asked me a question. just to balance it out. So I was like,
so you were like on a panel or something?
Yeah, I did like a panel where they were asking people questions and talking about like outdoor experiences and like conservation and stuff. And did the panel. And when I walked in there, I was like, they don't even know I'm the greatest of all time at nature. They don't even know how good I am in nature.
Right,
and then during the panel, they were like asking questions, and I was like, yeah, in my experience, like just being
you're talking. That's how you view yourself.
Yeah, like if I was watching myself, I would hear myself go, well, in my experience, I did this. My tip would be like, just fucking try it out, and if it doesn't work, just walk away and be like, they don't even know how fucking sick I am.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's what gets you through shit,
bro. Even when I bomb, I bomb and I go, that was probably the worst set of my life, and then I leave, and then I go, but these motherfuckers don't even know that you're gonna be the greatest of all time. Like, there's just like a weird thing of like, I'm also very competitive, so I just go, I gotta be good, but then I'm like, well, reality, bro, you fucking suck a lot of the time, so you gotta find the middle ground,
Yeah, I think Kevin Smith calls it that reasonable amount of unreasonability or something. Yeah. You have to have a certain amount of that.
A little bit of Kanye. I think every person should have a little bit of Kanye.
A little bit of Kanye. That's very funny.
It's true.
Not the anti-Semitism part.
Or you can have that if that helps you. You can if that's your dream. If that's what you think is cool.
That's
anti-Semitism
not cool.
as a trend.
Oh,
that's
God.
I know. I'm sorry.
He said it, not me. All right. No, but yeah. So it does seem like you have to have a kind of competitive thing driving you to get to where you are now in the comedy scene.
Yeah,
because I feel like I was like, I don't even remember seeing this fucking guy at Mike's, and like, now you're doing your thing. You're out there, you're traveling, you're doing it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a weird balance of like, I am like, when I go to a show, I in my head I go, I want people to leave the show going like, I wanted to see more of Eeland. I want it to be great, but that's not just, let's take away comedy in that. I just mean in like my everyday life. So I walk in and I just go, I want people to know that I'm trying to be really good at this, and I want to leave like more to be desired. I want people to be like, oh, he's good at fishing. I want to learn from him, or like something about like, I just want people to like respect that I care about it. Like, I really want to try.
There's an earnestness to that I appreciate. Like, you honestly want to be good.
Like, I want to be good, and I look at the people who there's people I look up to who I go, I'm never gonna get to that level, but I'm gonna keep trying. Like Patrice O'Neal, Bill Burr, Gerard Carmichael, Chad Daniels. Like, there's these people who I look at and I go, fuck, they are perfect. Like, that shit is great. How do I get to that? And I'm like, I'm never going to get to that level, or Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, or Jessica Kirsten. Like, I'm never going to get to that level, but I got to keep working. I want to go to shows and do that. And so there was a point where, like, my girlfriend was mad at me, but I would go straight from work and go home. I would go straight from work
To go to shows.
And
Or
go to and go to
mics
mics
or whatever.
or shows. Or the nights I didn't go to mics, I would go watch shows because it's like, all right, I'm not gonna do stand up tonight, and I'm not gonna take a break because I don't believe in taking breaks. But I need to go like watch a headliner. Like I need to go watch someone who's really good at this and say like, do they come out and yell at the crowd, or if they're low energy, do they come out and are they low energy the whole time, or how do they get into a joke, or if they deal with a heckler, is it aggressive? Is it is it kind? Is it just trying to control the show? And I like going to watch and like studying it and being like, okay, this is like I see this, or like this really worked, or like when this comic did this, the crowd was like, ugh, and then that comic had a hard time getting it back. So even when I wasn't going to mics and going to shows and writing, I was like, I mean, even when I wasn't going to mics, I was going to shows to like watch, like how do people who are better than me, why are they
Do
better
their
than
thing,
me?
yeah.
Yeah, how are they? And then also want to get better, and then it just you get a little bit better, and then you see the next level, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't, I'm doing 20 minutes now, I'm doing 30 minutes now, and like you may crush for 5 of those 30 minutes, and then you're like, damn, I should have only been up there for 10 minutes, and then the next show you go, all right, I did a little bit better, but I want for like you watch people who do 30 minutes, and you go, that person murdered for 31 minutes. That person crushed. And like, how do I get to that level? Or how do I work on this joke? Or how do I intro after a show where there's a bunch of like you just try to figure out.
Do you see any through lines?
Just
Is it like enthusiasm? Is it charisma?
I wouldn't say it's charisma because I've seen comics with charisma fucking bomb because they were like, oh, people are just gonna like me because I'm cool, and I'm like, that's not a tool.
Yeah,
If
I
it
saw
helps,
Pete Davidson when he came to town.
really.
Yeah, well, he wasn't great. I didn't think it might have been an off night because I've seen other people say he was great. I didn't see it that night.
Yeah,
but again, that was years ago. It was years ago.
Yeah, so I don't know if there is a through line. I see the people who care about stand up, and then I guess an extra step was like care about the crowd. Like I see
like
people,
we're all having a good time.
Yeah, like I see people who like care about the art of stand up, who they're like, I'm here to like work on these jokes to make sure they're flushed out, to make sure they're perfect, to make sure they're great, and always sort of manipulating and moving stuff. But then I see the comics who like care about the crowd, who go, I want to make sure you guys are comfortable and we're having a good energy sort of thing. And those seem to be like the best shows because they're like in the moment, they're present.
Yeah.
So those are the things where I watch comics and I go, that person cares about joke writing and comedy, and that person cares about like the crowd enough to an extent to like whatever I got to do to make these people happy, I'm gonna do in a fun, honest way that's true to myself. So those are like two things. And I saw Chad Daniels 3 years in a row. He had a new hour every single time, and he would like he just was working on the material, and he was like true to himself. Fucking, I've never seen someone crush with a new hour in 3 years in a row. Like he is one of my favorite comics of all time. And I see him and I go, fuck, I gotta write a joke better. I gotta write a joke that's, more personal, but also talks shit about like it's just perfection. So that's how I sort of have been navigating my comedy. And it may change. It may change the better I get at writing, or another skill I learn, or whatever. So
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I know you said you got a heart out here, so damn. Did want to
I got 5 minutes.
Yeah, you guys talked about bears a lot in that other podcast you're talking about.
Yeah, I worked as a nuisance wildlife technician.
Yeah. But the funny thing I thought it was because he was like, you were talking about how bears smell bad. And one of the other guys in the podcast was saying, yeah, I think animals would smell good because they only eat nature stuff. But it was probably them eating garbage that
Made them smell bad.
I was like, bears eat desiccating flesh, bro. They fucking, they're not just eating blueberries.
Yeah,
they will eat them if they can. It's like, but bears eat rotting carcasses.
They will eat anything that smells like anything. They'll eat
bears,
fish, dead deer. They'll eat they'll eat trash. They'll eat blueberries. There's actually a bear hunt in Montana called the blueberry black bear hunt. And when these bears come out of hibernation, they just like fill up on blueberries.
Yeah,
and then when you hunt a bear, and then when they harvest the meat's almost like bluish purple, and it's like really sweet, and it's like really good. And I'm like, I've never like been hunting. I'm not like a big hunter, but I was like, I would go do that just to like try blueberry bear meat.
To try it, yeah.
Yeah. If I ever get some, I'll bring you some.
Oh, thank you.
That'd be sick.
You ever heard that you have to cook like predator meat more because it's like, like a wolf meat, bear, because they're eating, other rotting stuff. So like they just have more like
parasites and bacteria and stuff. No, I mean I've had bear. I think we made sausage, and I think we just grounded the meat, which is pretty easy. But
do one more cookie here. Which one you want to do? What we got?
Is there a chocolate chip in there?
No, chocolate chip. Oof. I didn't get a chocolate. You want to do the
let's try
chocolate
shortbread?
Yeah, chocolate with the shortbread. Shortbread cookie sandwich right here.
All right,
with chocolate.
Thanks for
cheers.
having
Yeah,
me.
Here's to you. I usually let the guests sign us off however they see fit. I will say Wakanda forever, be excellent to each other, and if you have any plugs, go ahead and tell them where to get it.
I love a shortbread cookie.
I love the frosting. I like the hard frosting snap that it gives it.
That's a good fucking cookie.
This one takes me back to childhood, right?
Yeah.
But in a good way.
It's a good cookie. Yeah, you can find me, go to my website, eelandstribling.com. If you aren't in Colorado, go to my website and tell me where to perform. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there is where do you want Eeland to perform? Put in your information. If you're listening to this, that helps comics so much, because especially if you're a newer comic and you're trying to get established, clubs will be like, well, you're not going to draw tickets. But if you can do this and you can pull up like, hey, 50 people told me they wanted to come to
that's a great point.
Iowa, then they go, oh, well, we can at least sell 50 tickets, So if support not just me, but support any comedy or podcast, like always tell them where you're at, because it just helps with the range of reach and ideas and stuff like that. Yeah, you can go to my website. Please subscribe to Comedians on the Fly on YouTube. I promise this summer we will have new episodes coming out with comedians from, you will be surprised, and it'll be great episodes. But Comedians on the Fly on YouTube, subscribe.
Jeff Stonic's also helping with that too now. So.
Jeff Stonic is the man.
I'm the one who told him to pick up a camera.
Really?
No.
I was like, you changed that young man's life. Yeah, check out Comedians on the Fly on YouTube. Subscribe. And check out some of the episodes. It would mean a lot. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Subscribe, bitch, right there.
So I can pay.
Sorry, I called you a bitch.
So I can pay. No, you called the audience. So I can pay a producer to help me produce it, so we can make more quality content. That's just chill. That's just real laid back. That's kind of like how I like my comedy. I don't want it to be intrusive. I want it to be like,
cool.
We're just hanging out.
Yeah. No, I got that vibe from it. I got that vibe.
So I think the show you saw me on in Boulder, I bombed.
Well, I heard you talk about that on the backpacking pod, and I was like, is he talking about the same show we were on?
Yeah, I fucking ate the dick.
Wouldn't say that. I mean, I didn't notice it. I mean, I'm sure you felt like it maybe didn't go that well, but from my where I was sitting, I thought they weren't giving it up though. That was a hard crowd.
Nah, I know a difference between a bad crowd and me bombing. And most of the time, I don't like when people, I never ever blame the crowd.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was they weren't like bad audience members. They just weren't giving it up. Like I said, bad.
Here's how I know. I did my first joke, nothing.
And same with me. Same with me, bro. Same.
I did my second joke, nothing. And then I go, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I remember that.
And they go, yeah. And I go, oh, so I'm just not doing well. And this lady just goes, And I was like, and then I did a bunch of old jokes. That was just fucking, and I was hosting, which is okay. I can admit hosting is tricky, but I'm just scraped. Was I not hosting?
No, it was Nick Dean hosting that night. So maybe we're thinking a different night.
Oh, so I bombed 2 times at the Boulder Comedy Show.
Because that's how I got on. Because my boy Nick Dean was like, "I'll throw you guesty," and I was like, "Thank you."
Such a it is a fun show. It's nice to jump on shows. So that's what I'm about to try to go do now. Not try to go do. I have a show. I have a private gig.
Ooh, you gonna get some money
for HOA?
Okay.
It's like a bunch of
good luck there.
White people.
No, they're gonna love you. They're gonna love you.
I did part 1 last night.
How'd it go?
The first half decent.
Okay.
Second half lost them. All white crowd, and then I was like, I'm not gonna talk about white people. And then this one lady said something. She like whispered something and annoyed me, and I was like, well, guess I don't have a choice now. And they didn't like it. So we're gonna make some adjustments for the night and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, we'll report back and we'll see how it goes.
I would love to come back longer. I'm sorry I had to sneak out of here. I feel like an asshole, but
it's all good. We got some cookies. I feel good. I'm riding that sugar high. All right.
Appreciate. Yeah, I'm gonna speed, and when I get pulled over by the cop, they're gonna be like, "Why are you speeding?" I'm like,
"Give him a cookie."
I got a couple cookies.
All right. Thanks so much for being on, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.